Hello, this is a short video from the Ocean Sands and Crown Point Stormwater Committee to update you on the progress of the committee and review with you the flooding situation that we have in our development and the support that we need from you so we can solve this problem for the whole community. My name is Al Marzetti. I'm a retired attorney and a member of the board of the Ocean Sands Homeowners Property Owners Association. Our key messages in our presentation today is to show you that flooding in our community is real, it's pervasive, it's dangerous. It damages everybody's property and not just the flooded, and everybody's property contributes to the problem via runoff. Do nothing is simply not a viable option. We need to do something to solve this problem. To start with this solution, as you may recall, Moffitt & Nichols was hired to do a feasibility study, and that's been completed. They presented at the last annual meeting, and it's the start of a thorough, systematic process to develop a comprehensive solution for the community. The committee, we will tell you, recommends the creation of a stormwater service district. This would finance, design, oversee construction, and manage the operations of the stormwater mitigation system. A model of this is the Whalehead Service District, which under the recent storms has proven to be a model of success. And there is an alternative that Coastland is putting forward that we do not believe to be in the best interest of the community. Just to review some of the prior storms in recent history, we had Tropical Storm Ernesto in August 2006, where we had 11 or 12 inches of rain in a couple of days, completely overwhelmed our community. In April 2015, not a major storm, but 6 inches of rain over 10 days caused pervasive flooding throughout our developments. And last fall, Hurricane Joaquin that overflowed the lake in the hydro section of Ocean Sands, carried over into Crown Point, various other sections of Ocean Sands as well. You can see more pictures on the Crawl Stormwater Facebook page and on our website at oshoa.org. The key contributors to this flooding problem is, no pun intended, we have a perfect storm here. Intense development over the years means that there's more impermeable surfaces, less place for the water to go. We're in a bowl between the Currituck Club and the dunes. We have unique watersheds. The water table is extremely high here. The paving of Route 12 acts as a dam to the free flow of groundwater. It simply can't get to west of the communities. And we have minimal drainage infrastructure, which also simply has not been maintained. One other thing that's coming up in the future that will further exacerbate the situation is that due to state regulations, the drainage ditch that runs to the moat around the wastewater plant will have to be shut off. In the past, we've been able to take advantage of the groundwater lowering system from the wastewater plant to get water out of the community. That will no longer be possible once they shut that drain off. Next, I'm now going to introduce Linda Garzinski. She's a retired senior executive from the Environmental Protection Agency.
Val mentioned there are many adverse effects from the flooding. It lowers your property values, it reduces your rental values. Even if your property doesn't flood, you experience things that impact the way of life on the Outer Banks. Those include your ability to bike and walk, and even access your car and leave and come from the community. Once a community gets a reputation as a flooded community, rentals can decrease dramatically. And with that reputation, people have the opportunity to go to other communities that do not flood or have stormwater control. So good luck in trying to get to your property if this flooding continues. In addition, we have some major impacts from flooding. Those include the constant damage to property, the need to repair and maintain your property from standing water, the higher flood insurance premiums that result, and all in all, a loss of enjoyment of the way of life on the Outer Banks. Lastly, and probably one of the most important issues, is the issue of health effects from standing water. Standing water breeds mosquitoes. Mosquitoes bring about serious illnesses like chikungunya and the Zika virus, which is moving directly for North Carolina right now. In addition, you have the dangers from E. coli contamination that result from animal waste sitting around and not being cleaned up, whether it's from pets or whether it's from wildlife. That E. coli exposure to the elderly, the immune damaged, and children is very, very frightening to everyone because it causes serious illness. The last bullet is about the actual smell of contaminated water, and many people are affected by that as well, and although not a health issue, is very much in people's mind as they rent or stay in the community. Next, I want to introduce Ed Pence. He's the chairman of our Stormwater Committee and a senior engineer.
Good afternoon. My name is Ed Pence, and I am a professional engineer in private practice in Virginia Beach and a part-time resident here in Ocean Sands, and the head of the Stormwater Committee that was formed in 2014 at the May Homeowners Association meeting by approval of the board and the membership. The committee consists of volunteers from residents and absentee resident homeowners here in Ocean Sands, and includes people from many different professions, including engineers, former EPA executive, attorneys, environmental scientists, an insurance professional, and representatives from the Coastland Development Company that participate in this committee. Our progress in 2015, we hired Moffatt Nickel to do a feasibility study to study the stormwater problem, and have continued to vet their study and move forward with our educational effort. 2016, we're continuing ongoing discussions with the county and having bi-weekly committee meetings to further this solution along. Understand the committee is striving to oversee a systematic approach to identifying a comprehensive solution for this pervasive stormwater problem that will benefit the entire community in a very cost-effective way. Ocean Sands and Crown Point represent a series of localized yet very interrelated flooding issues. Moffatt Nickel, in their study, recommended a groundwater lowering system that provides a comprehensive solution that addresses localized issues while recognizing that there is a great interdependence between these solutions on the tracts of land. We're going to talk about that more in just a minute. Coastland's approach appears to be a series of independent, unrelated, ad hoc solutions that move water around the community instead of out of it. A global approach does not preclude the phasing or the management of these different areas, but an ad hoc approach prevents an integrated solution. The owner members of the committee believe that the Moffatt Nickel approach best serves the individual owners and the community at large. You know, we got to be smart. We don't want to put our money into a system that doesn't work and doesn't solve our problem. It's not a bargain no matter what the cost. We need to figure out what the best solution is and then figure out the best way to finance and further that solution so that our money's not wasted. The Moffatt Nickel feasibility study. Again, Moffatt Nickel is a national engineering firm recognized for their expertise in stormwater management, very successful in their implementation of the groundwater lowering system in Whalehead, and they evaluated all of the factors that are contributing to our flooding problems and outlined 3 key options in their report. Number one was an ocean outfall pipe, a cost in excess of $100 million, most likely impossible because of the federal and state permitting process. Certainly time would prevent that from consideration in any case. Number two was a groundwater lowering system. Preliminary estimates of $9 million, very similar to the wellhead system, but that number again is very preliminary. It has to be confirmed through the next phase of the engineering. Number three was do nothing. Obviously, flooding problems will continue to get worse. Pending EPA regs could increase the costs, and the solution would become even more difficult down the road. Understand that pumping to the ocean is not an option. The State Department of Environmental Quality will not let us pump to the ocean anymore unless there is an emergency situation declared. Emergency situation is 14 inches or more of standing water in the streets, and certification by the fire chief that emergency vehicles cannot get through the water. Therefore, even when we can pump, we have to quit when it gets below 14 inches. Therefore, we have several days, even weeks, of standing water in the streets that lead us to the problems that Linda identified earlier. So what's next? The engineering steps, the preliminary design. Following on to the master plan, we need to do the soil testing, groundwater testing, subsurface investigation, easement determinations, environmental permitting, and the next phase of design. We would then go into a period of design review and public outreach, moving into final design, where we prepare detailed plans and specifications and obtain final permits. At that point, we would be in position to bid the work out to qualified contractors, award the contract, construction phased again into to spread out the costs, and then to maintain and operate the system. Understand, this is not a quick thing. It's a multi-year project that is going to take a concerted effort on everyone's behalf. But be advised, the committee is looking at several interim steps, stopgap solutions to alleviate these stormwater problems in the short term while we continue to press forward to the permanent solution. The committee has made a good faith attempt to work with Coastland but we found that Coastland's alternative proposals are deficient from an engineering and a project management standpoint, and basically redundant to what Moffatt-Nichol has already prepared. After many months, Coastland has yet to authorize the additional study that would give us the ability to even evaluate it, and it's our opinion we need to move forward. Linda's going to come back and talk some more.
Hi. One of the issues that we are dealing with is the problems of delay. We have repeatedly experienced delays in working through the issues with Coastland. In the interim, EPA proposed new stormwater solutions and new stormwater regulations. These regulations could dramatically increase the cost of implementing our drainage system. We are awaiting the final close of the final comment period on the proposed regulations, and then EPA will issue final regulations. At that point in time, it is about 3 to 4 years total for implementation of the regulations. In the meantime, in a normal world, we would already be doing our data collection and testing. This is important because it saves us time on the implementation phases of the stormwater construction. We cannot afford to lose another year. More delay equals more time, more money, more opportunities cost, and could force us to comply with even more stringent regulations than we have currently. Next coming up to talk is Rick Kinner. He is on the board of the Ocean Sands Property Owners Association and an insurance executive.
Thank you, Linda. We're going to speak about a service district. This is the logical, the effective, and the reasonable method to achieve the technical solution Ed was discussing with you. A service district is a geographical area which is designed to address a very specific purpose. It's to look at a singular situation, whether it is physical or service-oriented. it is normally done for a smaller portion of a political entity. Rather than an entire county, city, municipality, or village, it's an area that is a smaller area within that entire political entity. Our flooding is a perfect example of that. Ocean Sands and Crown Point is a small portion of Currituck County. Our issue is flooding. Singular issue, small geographic area. Service district addresses that. Service districts are used widely across the United States. There are over 3,000 of them in North Carolina, and we have 5 here in Currituck County already. Each of these districts allow the community to have a voice in their operation and their management, unlike with Coastland, where we do not have an audience. Financing can be accomplished normally in one of 2 ways, either public financing or private financing. Public is exactly what it means. It's public, it's transparent. The loans that would be acquired would be tax-exempt, good, tax-exempt, low-rate municipal loans. The tax rate provided by the district would come to pay the loans. The annual tax rate would be created by the advisory board of the Stormwater District. All property owners would pay into the tax. That would include Coastland. And the tax rate reflects the stages of the project. When we're in the developmental early data gathering stage that Ed was referencing, we would have lower rates. As the construction built up, our tax rate would go up, and as we got to the stage of just operation and maintenance, our tax rate would then come down again. The other option is a private. That would be done normally through banks. The first issue is the uncertainty. What banks are interested? How much appetite do they have for this? More importantly, we'd be facing fees, we'd be facing legal and financial fees, application fees, and at all times, remember, attorneys and banks want a profit. That adds a component that you will not find in the public financing option. Also, the private method would include a special assessment of all homeowners. However, Coastland is exempt from any special assessment via our bylaws. The best way of looking at this here is, if you look at these comparison points, the Stormwater Service District, you're talking about tax exempt. Any tax you pay is deductible on your 1040. There's transparency and accountability. There would be no liability on the part of the POA because it's publicly operated. The county operation and maintenance is at a low cost. There's continuity of service because the project is ongoing. The service district lives long after the construction is complete. And again, Coastland is subject to the same tax every other property owner is subject to. On the private side, again, I'm back to high bank loans, high rates and fees. Any assessment comes to the owners, but not to Coastland, the developer. There'd be low visibility to our money. There's a potential for insurance liability on the part of the POA. There's some talk about a private stormwater management firm being brought into the picture, an additional expense. Coastland could charge us for access to the open space. And again, we're back to no direct owner oversight, and Coastland is exempt from the assessment. I would summarize by saying the bottom line is simply this. Do we wish to have the construction process and plan selected by Coastland, managed by Coastland, and they be responsible for collecting and controlling our money? A service district gives homeowners the control, the visibility to funds, and predictable management. Next will be Barb Marzetti to talk about the process of achieving the service district.
Good afternoon, I'm Barbara Marzetti. I'm a resident, full-time resident here in Ocean Sands. I'm a member of the Ocean Sands Water and Sewer District Advisory Board, which operates similarly to the proposed Stormwater Advisory Board. I'm also a former POA board member in Ocean Sands and current president of the Corrales Civic Association. I'd like to show you the boundaries we propose for the service district. Starts at the south end of Section D and runs all the way up here past the wastewater plant, includes Crown Point, U, X, and Y up here at the northern end. Does not include A, B, and C in Ocean Sands. The rates that we're talking about, first of all, the total property value in the district is about $485 million. So per $100 valuation, 1 penny will generate $48,381. 3 cents will generate $145, $143, and 5 cents, $241,905. You can see if your property values are here, what the sample rate would be if we taxed at 5 cents per 100. The Crown Point average assessed value is $584,742. At 5 cents, they would pay $292.35 per year. Ocean Sands average assessed value is $411,753, and they would pay $205.85 at 5 cents tax rate per year. So you can run those numbers yourself on the different values. The legal process that we are going through for the formation of the district, the Stormwater Committee has filed a report with the Currituck County Commissioners identifying the need, boundaries, and budget for year 1. We filed that on March 30th. Public notice will be mailed to all owners within the district 4 weeks prior to the public hearing, which is tentatively set for May 2nd. We are sending out a survey to all property owners to demonstrate their community support, so we can use that to present to the commissioners to get the district formed. If the district is formed, it will take effect July 1st, and the rates will be included in your 2016 tax bill. I have to tell you, this Stormwater Committee unanimously supports the formation of the service district. The committee is sending out a survey monkey requesting your support. The results will be used to demonstrate community support to the commissioners for the district. The survey will go out most likely early next week. And now is the time to protect the value and enjoyment of your property. Vote yes to support the formation of the service district. How can you help us? Review the materials we previously sent out, and you can view them on the Corrales Stormwater Facebook page or on the www.ashoa.org website. Click on the Stormwater link. Complete the survey promptly so your vote is taken into account. Talk with your neighbors and friends and make them understand how pervasive this flooding problem is. And then talk to friends and neighbors who might live in Whalehead about the success of their system. And then stay informed on plans and implementation. But above all, remember, flooding is real, pervasive, and dangerous. Flooding damages all property owners. Doing nothing is not an option. We must move forward with a comprehensive solution, and a service district is the only logical way to finance the project. Our goal, when it rains, it drains. Thanks for your time and attention, and we appreciate your support.
We're in good shape. What was the time?
Do you have it on yours? Because it